I had to get my rabbits to bed, and they were not wanting to go to bed. My bad. I said 9:30. It's been an hour. Also, I got a new stand, so maybe this one's better. But it was a hassle to get my rabbits ready for bed. That's why it was kind of delayed. Hello. I'll just give this a minute. Give it a minute to kind of fill up. Is this sideways for y'all? Like, or is this like weird looking? Hi. Is this like sideways, like big picture for y'all, or is it like weird? Okay. Cause like I can't really tell whenever I record, but I noticed yesterday it was like straight up like the TikTok like videos, and the rest of the screen was just black. So is this better though if it's sideways? I'm trying to look at the chat, but I'm like leaning forward and almost gonna fall out my chair. Ugh. You got spoiled today. Nice. The camera is sideways. What do you mean sideways? Is it like a good view? Is it like that big sideways view that you can watch videos on? Or is it like, is that better? Or is it better like this or the other way I had it? I literally can't tell. Yes. So it's better like this. So it's better like this. This way. Okay. Okay. I was just wondering, because I had my phone sideways and I couldn't tell. I was like, isn't it looks, I couldn't tell. Okay, good to know. Used to have people responding. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, because like there was people that were finally starting to join yesterday at the end of the stream, and I was like, guys, I'm going to lay down. Like, I've been sitting up straight for a whole hour reading, and my voice was dead yesterday. Oh man, I hate when that happens, when you lose your bookmark. But, like, right here, I just, like, oh no, oh no, oh, there it is. I just dog-eared it. And I knew we were, like, at the bottom right here. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna remember that. And luckily I did. I was literally waiting all day to do this. But once again, I am sorry I am late. Also, if you hear a bunch of, like, ruckus in the background, it's my rabbits. I gave them something to keep them occupied. They're chewing on something. So how did you guys like the stream yesterday? Nobody replies. Okay, nice. Look, I have new stuff to look at today. Well, he's still here, but... Like, can somebody tell me why these are, like, kind of dirty looking? Like, I don't know if that's because that's the way the design is, or if he just looks that way, because he's, like, crusty. You see that? Like, on his muzzle and, like, his head. It's, like, shaded or something. Anyway. I guess while I'm waiting on just like maybe a few more people to show up, I can like give you an up close of the Rumble Cloud custom. This is a lion, by the way, if you guys didn't know. I showed it to my grandma and she said it kind of looks like a hippopotamus. Yeah, you can't really see the feet though. You guys want me to open this, by the way? Like, make, like, a stream of me opening, like, all my FNAF 1 series. But yeah, this used to be a tie-dye box, and I was too lazy to cover that up. Oh, you do? Okay. Well, I don't know if these are, like, good quality. I don't want to open them, and then I won't be able to resell them. But, like, the point of collecting them is to keep them, though, anyway. Right? Anyway. Do staff bot. Which staff bot? There's, like, 50 of them. I got my first soccer practice on the 24th. 24 what? Mask bot. Cool staff bot and caution bot. Oh yeah, by the way, did you guys see the theory about those little caution bots, like in the main game, not the ruin game, but like the caution bots were like there to the little caution bots were there to they were like Bonnie somehow trying to send out a message to people, but everyone ignored him or something. I don't know, I feel bad for Glamrock Bonnie. Okay, I'm about to start reading, okay? I'm gonna give you a real whatchamacallit, like a summary of what happened in the last episode of Rumble Reads, I guess. Oh, what's up, my cousin? Hey, Ninx. And I think that's my aunt on there. Hi. How you doing? You guys doing good? I'm the person from yesterday. Yes, I know. I know! Don't rush me! But anyway, yes, welcome to the stream. Today we're reading part 2 of Into the Pit. That got delayed a few times. Also, I got a new, I found a new phone holder, so maybe it doesn't fall a lot all the time like it did last time. Yo, it's me. I'm her cousin. Yes, yes. Hi, hi, hi. Hello. Okay. Now. Oh no! Why are all of you on here? No! All of you! Both of my cousins are on here. Oh no! No! Because we can. Oh well. Okay. I'm gonna start reading. No, wait, I gotta do a summary first and then start reading. Okay, so we got introduced to this kid named Oswald, and he's pretty bummed out because his best friend moved and the town he lives in is falling apart. And he went to the last day of school and was pretty bummed out about it because his best friend moved away. He went home, and then his dad suggested that he would drop him off at the library in the mornings to spend the summer there, and then he would go over to, we're bored. Okay, so, Oswald, his dad, I lost track because I looked at chat. My, ADHD went, ooh, there's people talking. I don't think I have ADHD, but I have something. I got something. Anyway, so his dad is gonna take him to the library for in the mornings, and then Oswald was gonna go over to this old pizza place that is like crusty and nasty and weird. And he's looking around and he finds an old stage and a ball pit and weird stuff like that. And he starts going there a few days later. And then he finally decided to go into the pit. The pit transported him back in time to the 1980s, and he hung out with a bunch of cool people and whatever. And he went back into the real world through the pit again. And, yeah, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. Pizza. Okay, and anyway, he went back in time, and he realized that time hadn't passed at all, so he was like, ooh, I could go again and spend more time there with my 1980s friends or whatever. Was that the bite of 87? Don't turn that into a meme, please. Okay. Alright, here we go. This is the next day after he gets out of the pit or whatever. This looks great. Can I? No, that's too hard. Markiplier reference? I want to go to an old crusty pizza place. Go to. Last time I went to like a Pizza Hut, it was like the service was so bad. This looks great, Mom, Oswald said, spearing a sausage on his. Wait, what? This looks great, Mom, Oswald said, spearing a sausage link with his fork. I gotta turn the page, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do that. You're in a good mood today, Mom said, sliding a waffle onto his plate. Quite a contrast from yesterday when you were Mr. Grumpy Pants. Yeah, Oswald said. They're supposed to get my book in at the library today. This statement was true, but it wasn't the reason Oswald was in a good mood. Of course, it wasn't like he could tell her the real reason. If he said, I discovered a ball pit at Jeff's Pizza that lets me time travel, Mom would be dropping the waffles and picking up the phone to call the nearest child psychologist. Oswald picked up his book at the library, but was too impatient to read it. He headed over to Jeff's Pizza as soon as it opened at 11. Jeff was in the kitchen when he got there, so he made a beeline for the ball pit. He shucked off his shoes, stepped in, and sank into the depths. Since it had seemed to work before, he counted to 100 before he stood. The animatronic band was playing some sort of weird, jangly song that was partially drowned out by the beeping, bleeping, and dinging of a variety of games. He wandered the floor and took in the video games, the whack-a-mole, the neon-lighted token suckers that let you win some tickets, but probably not, if you push the button at the right time. Older kids crowded around the video games, preschoolers climbed on the crown-colored play equipment. Pink eye, Oswald thought, though he had no room to talk, the way he was diving into the ball pit these days. Everything looked as it had before. He even caught sight of a calendar hanging in an open office that helped him pinpoint the date, 1985. Hey, it's Oswald! Chip was wearing a baby blue polo with his dad jeans and giant sneakers this time. Not a hair on his head was out of place. Hey, Oz, Mike said. He was wearing a Back to the Future t-shirt. Anyone ever call you that, like the Wizard of Oz? They do now, Oz said, grinning. He had gone from having the loneliest summer ever to having 2 new friends, and a nickname. True, all of these seemed to be happening in the mid-1980s, but why get hung up on the details? Hey, Chip. Hey, Chip said. We just ordered pizza. You want to have some? We ordered a large, so there's more than we can eat. Speak for yourself, Mike said, but he was grinning. Okay, Chip said. How about I say it's more than we should eat? You want to join us? Oswald was curious about how Freddy Fazbear's pizza compared with Jeff's. Sure, thanks. On the way to their table, they passed someone in a what? Ow, I just got a hand cramp. Ow! Also, I need to drink water. You guys liked my fancy cup? Oh man, where's the label? Oh, there it is. You guys like my snazzy cup? My snazzy cup? Don't mind my peeled off fingernail polish on my thumb. Yeah, my snazzy cup. I keep these, by the way. Like whenever they start to the point where the lid doesn't snap on as good, I throw them away. But like I be reusing these cups. I know, right? I just like that word, snazzy. I don't know why. I started using it more. Okay, they're sitting down for pizza, and the rabbit. Wait, this. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Reread that. On their way to the table, they passed someone in that same yellow rabbit suit who was standing in a corner, still as a statue. Oh my gosh, the ghost is moving my phone. Snazzy. Chip and Mike didn't see him or ignored him, so Oswald tried to ignore him as well. Why hide in the corner like that, though? If he worked for the restaurant, surely he wasn't supposed to act all creepy. At the table, a young woman with big blonde hair and blue eyeshadow served them a large pizza and a pitcher of soda. Who says pitcher of soda? Anyway, in the background, the animatronic band played on. The pizza was pepperoni and sausage with crispy crust, and a nice change from the plain cheese slices. You know, Mike said between bites. When I was little, I loved Freddy's. When I was little, I loved Freddy Fazbear's band. I even had a stuffed Freddy I used to sleep with. Now I look up at that stage and think, and those things give me the creeps. Oh my gosh, Snowball. Why? He like peeled out over there. It's weird, huh? How stuff you like as a little kid gets creepy when you're older. Chip helped himself to another slice. Like clowns? Yeah, or dolls, Mike said between bites. Sometimes I'd look at my little sister's dolls all lined up on the shelf in her room, and it's like they're staring at me. Or like that guy in the yellow rabbit costume, Oswald thought, but he didn't say anything. After they demolished the pizza, they played some skee-ball, Mike mopping the floor with him again, but being really nice about it. Oswald didn't worry about time anymore because apparently time here didn't pass the same way as in his old time zone. After skee-ball, they took turns playing air hockey in pairs. Oswald was surprisingly decent at it, and even managed to beat Mike once. When they started to run low on tokens, Oswald thanked them for sharing their their wealth, and he hoped to see them again soon. After they said their goodbyes, Oswald waited until no one was looking and disappeared into the pit. Gotta get a drink of my snazzy. Why does everyone keep saying snazzy? No, Fredbear calls the bite of 87. No, wait, yeah, 83. My Markiplier kicked out in me. Bite of 87! Oh, okay. Okay. Hanging out with Chip and Mike turned into a regular thing. Today they weren't even playing games. They were just sitting at a booth, drinking sodas and talking, trying to ignore the animatronic animals' annoying music as much as they could. You know what movie I liked? Chip said. His polo shirt was peach colored today. Oswald loved the guy, but really, didn't he own one shirt that wasn't a color of an Easter egg? The Internal Song. Seriously? Mike said, pushing his huge glasses up on his nose. That movie was so boring. I was like, The Internal Song is the perfect title for this movie because I don't think it's ever going to end. They all laughed, and then Chip said, "What did you think of it, Oz?" "I haven't seen that one," Oz said. He said that a lot when hanging out with Chip and Mike. Oswald always listened to them talk about movies and shows they liked, but when they mentioned one he didn't know, he'd look it up online when he got home. He made a list of 80s movies he wanted to watch, and checked the TV listings on the DVR to see if any of them might be showing. Oswald participated in Chip and Mike's conversations as much as he could. It was kind of being a foreign exchange student. Sometimes he had to fake his way through smiling by nodding and being generally agreeable. "Man, you need to get out more," Mike said. "Maybe you can go to the movies with Chip and me sometime." "That'd be cool," Oswald said. Because what else could he say? Actually, I'm from the distant future, and I don't think it's physically possible for me to see you in any place but in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in 1985. They'd both think that was a joke on They'd both think that was a joke on Mike because his favorite movie was Back to the Future. Name one movie you've seen that you really like, Chip said to Oswald. I'm trying to figure out what your taste is. Oswald's mind went blank. What was that movie from the 80s? E.T.? E.T.? Mike slapped the table laughing. E.T. was like 3 years ago. You do need to get out more. Do they not have movie theaters where you're from? They do, Oswald thought. And they have Netflix, PlayStation, and YouTube and social media. But he didn't say it. Of course, there was technology Chip and Mike talked about that he only the vaguest knew knowledge of, like VCRs and boom boxes and cassette tapes. And he No, I'm reading. Ah. Oh gosh, I need a drink. Okay. Oh my gosh, the ghost is moving my camera again. The phone ghost keeps moving my camera. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Of course, there was technology Chip and Mike talked about that he had only the vaguest knowledge of, like VCRs and boom boxes and cassette tapes. He constantly had to remind himself not to talk about things like cell phones and tablets and the internet. He tried not to wear t-shirts with characters and references that might confuse them or the other customers at 1985 Freddy Fazbear's. Have you guys ever I always remember watching like VCR or VHS tapes. Like I just remember like always putting one in and then watching it. Oh, bye person who's leaving. Stop putting snazzy in the chat. Every time I look over there, I see snazzy. Iron Giant was the best VH. You know what was the best one in my opinion? That I don't know if like I didn't even know its name and I had to Google it cuz I used to watch it when I was like very young. It was called The Seventh Brother, and it was about this puppy who gets lost and he gets adopted by a family of bunny rabbits. It was so cute. I tried to watch it again when I was like recently, and I watched it and I was like, oh man, this is cringe. But yeah, it's called The Seventh Brother. You should look it up. Pretty interesting story. Like I think they called him like Bunny Puppy or something. It is old. It's ancient. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, we definitely need to bring you up to date, Chip said. If only you knew, Oswald thought. Hey, do you want to go play some games? Mike said. I feel this skee ball calling me, but I promise I'll go easy on you guys. Chip laughed. No, you won't. You'll murder us. You guys go ahead, Oswald said. I'll just stay here at the table. What, and watch the show? Mike said, nodding in the direction of the creepy characters on stage. Is something wrong? If you suddenly decided you like Freddy Fazbear's music, we need to get you help fast. No, nothing's wrong, Oswald said. But really, something was. For his first few visits to 1985 Freddy Fazbear's, It hadn't even occurred to him that he was basically mooching off Chip and Mike's generosity because he never had any money of his own. And even if he wasn't broke in his own time zone, would the money he brought from the present day even work in 1985? It was kind of pitiful being broke in 2 decades. Finally, he just said, "Yeah, I feel like I'm always kind of taking your money because I never have any." "Hey dude, it's cool," Chip said. "We hadn't even noticed." "Yeah," Mike said, "we just figured your grandma never gave you any money. I know my grandma doesn't, except when it's my birthday." They were being really nice, but Oswald still felt embarrassed. If they had talked about his lack of money, that meant they noticed it. "How about I just go hang out with you while you play?" Oswald said. He stood up and he felt a strange heaviness in his pockets. Something in them was so heavy it felt like his jeans might fall down. He realized he reached in his pockets and pulled out double handfuls of 1985 Freddy Fazbear's game tokens. He produced a handful after handful and dumped them on the table. "Or we could play using these," he said. He had no idea how to explain the magic that just occurred. "I guess I forgot I was wearing these pants. The ones that had all the tokens in them." Chip and Mike looked a little confused, but they grinned and started racking up coins from the table into their empty soda cups.
Do you have a live YouTube?
Yes? What?
It's right now?
Yes. You're interrupting.
Bobby's on there.
Yeah. She's listened to me read. Emo rock band. You just gotta click on, I think you just can click on, all you gotta do is just like click on her profile picture, I think. But if I do it, that's gonna kill the stream. Hey, listen, I just learned how to like promote channels on my channel. Like that was rough. Okay. Oswald did the same. He just decided to go with the weirdness. He didn't know how the tokens got there, but then again, he didn't really know how he got there either. Okay, I need to... By the way, guys, I'm thinking about changing my profile picture again, so, like, let me know what I should change it to. Okay. In the morning, as Dad was driving him to the library, Oswald asked, "Dad, how old were you in 1985? "I was just a couple of years older than you," Dad said. "Other than baseball, all I could think about was how many quarters I had to spend at the arcade." "Why? Why do you ask?" "No reason in particular," Oswald said. "I've just been doing some research. Jeff's Pizza. Back before it was Jeff's Pizza. It was some kind of arcade, wasn't it?" "Yeah, it was." Dad's voice sounded strange, nervous maybe. He was quiet for a few seconds and then said, "But it closed. Like everything else in this town," Oswald said. "Pretty much, yeah," Dad said, pulling up in front of the library. Maybe it was Oswald's imagination, but it seemed like his dad was relieved to get to their destination, so he wouldn't have to answer any more of my questions. At 11 o'clock sharp, Oswald headed over to Jeff's Pizza, as it had become his habit. With Jeff nowhere in sight, Oswald proceeded to the pit. After his count to 100, he stood. But there were noises, but not the usual ones of Freddy Fazbear's. Screams, crying, children, yells for help, the fast footballs of people running, chaos. Where were Mike and Chip? Were Chip and Mike here? Were they okay? Was anybody here okay? He was afraid. Part of him wanted to disappear back into the pit, but he was worried about his friends. Also, he was burning with curiosity about what was going on. Even though he knew whatever it was horrible. He wasn't in danger, he told himself, because this was the past. A time way before he was born. His life couldn't be in danger in a time before he even existed, could it? His stomach in knots. He moved through the crowd, past crying mothers running with their toddlers in their arms, past dads grasping children's hands and leading them swiftly toward the exit, their faces masks of shock. Chip? Mike? He called, but his friends were nowhere to be seen. Maybe they hadn't come to Freddy Fazbear's today. Maybe they were safe. Scared, but feeling as if he had to know what was happening, Oswald walked in the opposite direction from everyone else with an escalating feeling of dread. In front of him stood the man in the yellow bunny costume. If it was a man under there, the bunny opened a door that said private and went inside. Oswald followed. Okay, hear me out. If you guys went back in time into a pit, like if you like went back in time and you were like hanging out there like every day like this guy was, and you've been seeing a creepy dude in a bunny costume that nobody else seems to notice, would you follow him into a back room? Like, this dude. He's just asking for it at this point. Oswald, come on. Like, come on, man. You know better than that. Okay. The corridor was long and dark. The rabbit looked at him with blank eyes and an unchanging grin. Then it walked farther down the hall. Oswald wasn't chasing the rabbit. He was... What are you doing? I'm reading. Okay, sorry about that. Somebody came in my room, which was annoying. But I'll get back to reading. Honestly, like I was eating some Takis earlier, and like they made like my nose run so much. Oh my gosh. Are you guys talking about the phone ghost? I swear it's moving my phone. Phone ghost. The phone trap. Phone trap. That's what we're gonna start calling it, okay? The phone trap. Anytime my phone starts moving on its own, it's phone trap. Like, like but that sounds weird though. Spring phone. But that sounds like a phone trap. That sounds like a ship between phone guy and spring trap. That's probably just my intrusive thoughts getting to me. Okay. William phone. Okay, we're okay, so he's following the rabbit down the he's following the rabbit down the corridor. The corridor was long and dark. The rabbit looked at him with blank eyes and an unchanging grin, then walked farther down the hall. Oswald wasn't chasing the rabbit, but he was letting the rabbit lead him, as if he were in a terrifying version of Alice in the Wonderland going down the rabbit hole. The rabbit stopped in front of a door with a red sign saying "Party Room" and beckoned for Oswald to come inside. Oswald was shaking with terror, but he was too curious to refuse. "Oh my gosh, kid. Run! Run!" Besides, he kept thinking, "You can't hurt me. I haven't been born." Oh my gosh. Once inside the room, it took Oswald a few seconds to register what he was actually seeing, and a few more seconds for his brain to process it. They were lined up against the wall, which was painted with images of the place's mascots: the grinning bear, the blue bunny, and the bird girl. Half a dozen kids, none of them older than Oswald, their lifeless bodies propped into sitting positions, their legs stretched out in front of them. Some of them had their eyes closed as if asleep. Others were open, frozen in an empty, doll-like stare. They were all wearing Freddy Fazbear birthday party hats. Oswald couldn't tell how they died, but he knew the rabbit was responsible for it. That the rabbit had wanted him to see his handiwork. Maybe the rabbit, Oswald knew. Wait, what? Maybe the rabbit wanted Oswald to be his next victim to join the others lined up against the wall with their unseeing eyes. Oswald screamed. The yellow rabbit lunged for him, and he ran out of the room and down the black corridor. Maybe the rabbit could hurt him. Maybe he couldn't. Oswald didn't want to hang around long enough to find out. He ran across the now empty arcade to the ball pit. Outside, the police sirens and screams matched Oswald's own. The rabbit ran after him, getting so close that the fuzzy paw brushed Oswald's back. Oswald dove into the ball pit. He counted to 100 as fast as he could. When he stood, the first thing he heard was Jeff's voice. "There's the little stinker." Oswald turned to see his dad stomping toward him. While Jeff looked on, Dad looked furious. And Jeff didn't look happy either. Not that he ever did. Oswald stood frozen, too overwhelmed to move. His dad grabbed his arm and pulled him out of the pit. "What were you thinking, hiding in that nasty old thing?" Dad said. "Didn't you hear me calling you?" After Oswald was out, his dad leaned over the pit. "Look how dirty that thing is. Your mother," a pair of yellow arms, reached out of the ball pit and pulled Dad under. The struggle would have been cartoonish if it hadn't been so terrifying. Dad's feet in their brown work boots kicked up to the surface, only to disappear below. And then a Then a pair of big, fuzzy yellow feet appeared, only to disappear too. The balls in the pit roiled like a stormy sea, and then they were still. The yellow rabbit rose from the pit, adjusted his purple bow tie, and brushed off his front and turned towards Oswald, grinning. Oswald backed away, but the rabbit was beside him, its arm firmly around Oswald's shoulders, guiding him towards the exit. Oswald looked at Jeff, who stood behind the counter. Maybe Jeff could help him? But Jeff wore the same hangdog expression he always wore and just said, "See you later, guys." How could anyone act like this situation was normal? Once the rabbit got outside, it opened the passenger door of Jad's car and pushed Oswald in. Oswald watched as the bunny buckled its seatbelt and started the car. He tried to open the door, but the bunny activated the power lock from the driver's side. The bunny's mouth was frozen in a rictus grin. Its eyes stared blankly. Oswald pushed the unlock button, even though he knew it wouldn't work. "Wait," Oswald said. "How can you do any of this? How can you even drive a car?" The bunny said nothing, but started the car and pulled it into the street. It stopped at a red light, so Oswald figured it must be able to see and know the basic rules of driving. Oh man, I gotta get another drink. I'm thirsty. Goodness. The bunny said nothing, but stared. Oh, okay. "What did you do to my dad? Where are you taking me?" Oswald could hear the panic in his voice. He wanted to sound so strong and brave, but he was standing up for himself. But instead, he sounded scared and confused, which he was. The bunny said nothing. The car made a familiar right turn and then a familiar left turn into Oswald's neighborhood. "How do you know where I live?" Oswald demanded. Still silent, the bunny turned into the driveway in front of Oswald's ranch-style house. "I'll make a run for it," Oswald thought. "As soon as this thing unlocks the car door, I'll run into a neighbor's house and call the police once I'm safely inside." The doors clicked, and Oswald jumped out of the car. Somehow, the bunny was standing right in front of him. It grabbed his arm. He tried to break free, but its grip was too strong. The bunny dragged Oswald to the front door and then yanked off the chain around Oswald's neck that held his house key. The rabbit turned the key in the door and shoved Oswald inside, then stood in front of the door, blocking the exit. Jinx the cat wandered into the living room, took one look at the rabbit and arched her back, puffed out her tail, and hissed like a cat on a Halloween decoration. Oswald had never seen her act scared or unfriendly before, and he watched as she turned tail and fled down the hall. If Jinx knew this situation was bad, it really must be bad. What's going on? Oh no. I'm gonna take a quick peek at the chat. Oh my gosh, Moneymaker and hashtag BitGames87 is blowing up the chat. Where'd everyone else go? Everyone just left. Okay. Oh, people still here. Okay. Guys, I need to get me a good quality gaming chair so I won't have to, like, sit on this stool. It's hurting my back. Okay, so his cat is hissing at the at the bunny. "You can't do this," Oswald said to the rabbit in tears. He didn't want to cry. He wanted to look strong, but he couldn't help it. This is kidnapping or something. My mom will be home soon, and she'll call the police." It was a total bluff, of course. Mom wouldn't be home until after midnight. How would he even be alive by the time Mom got home? Was his dad even alive now? He knew the bunny would grab him if he tried to make a run for the back door. "I'm going to my room now, okay? I'm not trying to escape. I'm just going to my room." He backed away and the bunny let him. As soon as he got inside his room, he slammed the door and locked it. He took deep breaths and tried to think. There was a window in his room, but it was high and too small to climb through. Under his bed, Jinx let out a loud growl. Oswald could hear the bunny outside his door. Oh my gosh, rabbits. What are you doing? What are you doing, Snowball? Oswald could hear the bunny outside his door. If he made a phone call, it would hear him. Maybe he could send a text. He took out his phone with shaking hands and texted, "Mom, emergency. Something's wrong with Dad. Come home now." Oswald knew, even as he texted, that she wouldn't be coming home now, because she was always dealing with medical emergencies at work. Sometimes it took her a long time to check her phone. It was Dad who Oswald was supposed to contact, even in the event of emergency, but obviously that wasn't going to work now. A miserable hour passed until Oswald's phone vibrated. Afraid the rabbit still might be listening outside his locked door, he picked it up without saying hello. "Oswald, what's going on?" Mom sounded terrified. "Do I need to call 911? "I can't talk now," Oswald whispered. I'm on my way home, okay?" She hung up. 15 minutes seemed to pass more slowly than Oswald thought was possible. Then there was a knock on Oswald's door. Oswald jumped, his heart in his throat. "Who is it?" "It's me." "Oh, she said it, guys. It's me." Okay, anyway. Let me continue. "It's me," Mom said, sounding what's that say? Expire? I can't say that word. "Open the door." He opened the door just a crack to make sure it was really her. Once he let her in, the door closed and locked. Once he let her in, he closed and locked the door behind them. "Oswald, you need to tell me what's going on." Mom's brow was furrowed with worry. "Where do I start? How do I explain without sounding crazy? It's Dad. He's not okay. I'm not sure where he is." Mom put her hands on both his shoulders. "Oswald, I just saw your dad. He's laying on the bed in our room watching TV. He made you chicken pot pie for dinner. It's sitting on the stove." "What? I'm not hungry." He tried to wrap his mind around his mom's words. "You saw Dad?" Mom nodded. She was looking at him like he was one of her patients instead of her kid. She was trying to figure out what was wrong with him. "And he's okay?" Mom nodded. "He's okay, but I'm worried about you." She put her hand on his forehead, as if checking for a fever. "I'm okay," Oswald said. "I mean, if Dad's okay, I'm okay. He just didn't seem okay." "Maybe it's good school starting back. I think you're spending too much time by yourself." What could he say? "Actually, I've been spending time with my new friends in 1987. Oh my gosh, it's stuck in my brain now. 1985. "Maybe so. I probably should just go on to bed. I have to get an early start in the morning." "I think that's a good idea," Mom said. She put her hands on his cheeks and looked at him directly in the eyes. "Listen, if you're going to text me at work, make sure it's a real emergency. You scared me." "I thought it was a real emergency. I'm sorry." "It's alright, honey." Just get some rest, okay? Okay. Get water. My throat is starting to like get really dry. Okay. After Mom left, Oswald looked under the bed. Jinx was still there, crouched in a ball like she was trying to make herself as small and invisible as possible, her eyes wide and looking terrified. "It's okay, Jinxie," Oswald said, reaching under the bed and wiggling his fingers at her. "Mom says it's safe. You can come out now." The cat wouldn't budge. Oswald lay awake in bed. If Mom said Dad was there and okay, that must be true. Why would she lie? But Oswald knew he had seen her. What he had seen. If he had seen the yellow thing, as he started to think of it, drag his dad into the pit. He had seen the yellow thing climb out of the pit and felt its grip on his arm, sat inside the car as it drove him home. Or had he? If Mom said Dad was home and okay, he must be. Oswald trusted his mom, but if Dad was okay, it meant Oswald hadn't seen what he thought he saw. And that must mean that Oswald was losing his mind. Only after a few hours of fitful sleep, Oswald woke to the aroma of frying ham and baking biscuits. His stomach rumbled, reminding him that he missed dinner last night. Everything felt normal. Maybe he should just treat yesterday like a bad dream and try to move forward. A new school year, a new beginning. He stopped in the bathroom and then made his way to the kitchen. "Feeling better?" Mom asked. There she was, her hair in a ponytail, wearing her pink fuzzy bathrobe, fixing breakfast just like always. Something about this fact made Oswald feel tremendously relieved. "Yeah," he said, "I'm pretty hungry, actually." "Now that's a problem I can fix," Mom said. She set down a plate with 2 ham biscuits on it and poured him a glass of orange juice. Oswald ate the ham first. Oh, gosh. Oswald ate the first ham biscuit in 3 big bites. The yellow thing walked in, sat across from him at the breakfast table. Mom?" Oswald's heart beat like a jackhammer in his chest. The ham biscuit sat heavy in his churning stomach. "What is it, hun?" Her back turned as she fiddled with the coffee maker. "Where's Dad?" She turned around, the coffee pot in her hand. "Oswald, your dad is sitting in front of you. If this is some kind of elaborate prank, you can cut it right now because it has officially stopped being funny." She poured a cup of coffee and sat it down in front of the yellow thing, which stared straight ahead, its mouth set to an unchanging grin. Oswald knew he wasn't getting anywhere. Either he was insane or his mom was. "Okay, I understand. I'll cut it out. I apologize. I may be may I be excused so I can get ready for school?" "Of course," Mom said. She was looking at him kind of funny again. Oswald stopped in the bathroom to brush his teeth and then went to his room to get his backpack. He peeked under his bed to find Jinx still hiding there. "Well, it's good to know there's somebody else in this family who has some sense," he said. When Oswald came back to the kitchen, the yellow thing was standing by the door, car keys in its paw. "Is, Dad taking me to school?" Oswald asked. He didn't know if he could bear sitting beside it in the car again, hoping it was watching the road as it stared through the windshield with its empty eyes. "Doesn't he always?" Mom said. He could hear the worry in her voice. "Have a good day, okay?" Seeing no choice, Oswald got in the car beside the yellow thing. Once again, it locked all the doors from the driver's side. It backed out of the driveway and past the jogging neighbor who just waved as if it were his dad. "I don't understand," Oswald said, on the edge of tears. "Are you real? Is this real? Am I going crazy?" The yellow thing said nothing and just stared at the road ahead. When it pulled up in front of Westbrook Middle School, The crossing guard and the kids at the crosswalk didn't seem to notice the car was being driven by a giant yellow bunny. "Hey," Oswald said before he got out of the car. "Don't bother picking me up this afternoon. I'll catch the bus." The school bus was a big yellow thing he could handle. Because it was some kind of cosmic law, the first person Oswald saw in the hall was Dylan, his tormentor. Well, if it isn't Oswald the Give it a rest, Dylan," Oswald said, pushing past him. I've got way bigger problems than you today." It was impossible to concentrate in class. Usually Oswald was a pretty decent student, but how could he focus with his life and possibly his sanity falling apart? Maybe he could talk to somebody, the school counselor or the school police officer, but he knew anything that came out of his mouth would sound dangerously crazy. How could he convince a police officer that his dad was missing if everyone who looked at the yellow thing saw Oswald's dad? Oh man, I need another drink of my water. I am dying from thirst. Okay, whenever this hits like an hour and 10 minutes, I'll stop. Or if I just find a good stopping place. Because, like, I am already starting to... My back is already starting to hurt from sitting in this. Okay. There was no one to help him. Oswald was going to have to figure out how to solve this problem himself. At recess, he sat on the bench by the playground, grateful that he didn't have to pretend to listen to a teacher and could just think. He couldn't imagine how his life could get any weirder. The yellow thing seemed to think it was his father. This was weird, though. But why did everybody else think it was his father, too? If you don't mind, do you mind if I share your bench? It was a girl Oswald had never seen before. She had curly black hair and big brown eyes, and she was holding a thick book. Sure, help yourself, Oswald said. The girl sat on the opposite end of the bench and opened her book. Oswald went back to his confusing thoughts. Have you gone to this school for a long time? The girl asked him after a few minutes. She didn't look over at Oswald when she talked. She just kept staring at the pages of her book. Oswald wondered if this meant she was shy. Since kindergarten, Oswald said, and then, because he couldn't think of a single other thing to say about himself, he asked, What are you reading? Greek mythology, she said. Tales of heroes. Have you read much mythology? Not really, he said, feeling stupid immediately after. He didn't want to give the impression that he was the kind of guy who never read books. In desperation, he added, I love to read, though. And he felt even stupider. Me too, she said. I've probably read this book a dozen times. It feels like a comfort book for me. When I read it, I need to be brave. The word brave struck a chord in Oswald. Brave was what he needed to be, too. Why's that? Well, the Greek heroes are super brave. They're always doing battle with some kind of big monster, like the Minotaur or the Hydra. It kind of puts things in a perspective, you know? No matter how bad my problems are, at least I don't have to do a battle with a monster. Yeah, Oswald said, even though he was trying to figure out how to do a battle with a monster, a yellow long-eared monster, in his own home. He couldn't tell this girl about the yellow thing, though. She would think he was crazy, and would be leaving their shared bench in a hurry. So you read the book when you need to be brave. He was surprised he was having this conversation, given the way his mind was racing. For some reason, the girl was easy to talk to. I mean, it may be none of my business, but I was wondering why you needed to be brave. She gave a little shy smile. First day at a new school. Third day in a new town. I don't know anybody yet. Yes, you do, he said. He held out his hand. I'm Oswald. He didn't know why he was offering his hand, but he was like some kind of businessman, but it felt like the right thing to do. She took his hand out and shook it firmly. I'm Gabrielle. Somehow, this was the conversation Oswald needed to have. I think maybe I can stop here. I felt like I read way more yesterday though, but we are probably maybe one more episode. Pretty much through it. Ugh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, while I'm here, while I'm still awake, it is like, it's like almost 12 a.m. What time is it for you guys? Well, I'm gonna end the... I'm gonna end the stream here and we can continue. Well, I might have to do the stream earlier tomorrow since it's Sunday and I have school on Monday. Blech. Yuck. But I'm gonna end the stream here and then probably be around earlier than last time. I don't know, I'll have to see what I'm doing tomorrow, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you didn't watch part 1, I'll probably put it in the comments somewhere. A link to it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.